This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi everyone, Rusty back here with your latest Meteo Mundo forecast for this Thursday, December the 7th. I hope you're having a great day. I gotta tell you, man, several areas to talk about. Some very wet weather for portions of the Caribbean. I know we're trying to transition into the dry season, but that is not on the table, at least over the next week ahead. We've got some heavy rain moving into portions of the Lesser Antilles. I expect some heavy rain moving in through portions of Central America, and then some big changes for the Bahamas with yet another very powerful cold front that will be moving in from the United States. So let's get into the video, and as we do so, thanks for supporting the channel by liking this video. Love to hear from you. Let me know what the weather's been like in your area. And if you have a specific question about the forecast, just drop that in the comments section below. So the wide view of the satellite imagery on this Thursday afternoon, it's relatively clean in the Caribbean right now. We do have some moisture coming back in over Mexico from the Pacific, and that will spell some rain we'll talk about here. We're gonna have a cold front again, as I mentioned, coming through the continental United States, and that's gonna blast some strong northeast and northwest winds into portions of the Bahamas. But I wanna start off with what's gonna be happening here in the Lesser Antilles, especially down into the Windward Islands. Now, over the last couple of days, we've already had some pockets of heavy rain for places like Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada and Barbados and St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but we're really just kind of getting started. We've just had kind of isolated moisture bubbling up, but I mentioned it in our last video that there is a big plume of moisture that'll be working its way across the Lesser Antilles, especially the south side of the Lesser Antilles, and there will be a lot of rain to come along with this as well. So that's the presentation of the enhanced satellite imagery. Looking at the water vapor imagery, again, red is dry, green is wet, and you can just see this moisture plume beginning to get going, and we're gonna have strong east winds that will push this right over the island. So this is a high confidence, potentially heavy rainfall forecast, especially from areas, let's say St. Lucia south. We'll have to watch out for the potential maybe for some isolated flooding in some of these areas. Overall, it's just gonna be some good heavy rain, just a really wet forecast, but we could add up enough where there might be some concerns there, and we'll look at those potential rainfall totals coming up. Now, eventually here, let me switch back over to the other satellite imagery. Eventually, we're going to get some rain moving in, even towards Barbuda and Antigua and Anguilla and the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, but more maximized farther south. The ABC Islands will get some of this rain as well. Looking at what's happening in the Gulf right now, and again, you can see that moisture streaming over Mexico. This will combine with some moisture that will develop off of the coastline of Central America in the Northwest Caribbean, and it's going to be a wet forecast towards the weekend for these areas. And then again, as I mentioned, that cold front coming in with some significant changes for the Bahamas. So I want to start off with this wide view. I also want to put on the wind, okay? So I'm going to switch this here to put on the wind arrows if it will cooperate and let me do so. All right, good. So the first thing I want you to notice is that we still have our strong easterly wind, and I'm going to go ahead and loop this. It might take a little second to fully kind of loop in, but you're going to see the changes in the winds and what this is going to bring to our area. First of all, I want you to notice through the Western Atlantic and the Caribbean, it's a strong east wind over the next 5 days. That is going to drive this moisture from east to west. We'll see more developing off the coastline of Central America as well. Then if you look up to the north, it's very plain to see this very strong cold front coming in as we get towards Sunday. Look at that line of showers and storms, and look at those wind arrows turn out of the northeast for the northern Bahamas. There's also this kind of mid-level low that tracks up the United States East Coast that will really freshen up the winds in the Western Atlantic, and that could really kick up some swell conditions for portions of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos as well. And look at the north winds able to work their way all the way down into Central America. And again, when you have that confluence of wind, the east wind in the Northwest Caribbean and the north winds coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, that's going to enhance or maximize some of the rainfall potential as well. All right, let me drop the wind arrows and we'll get back over to the rain. So it all comes together this time of the year, the wind direction and the pumping of the moisture moving into the area. So we're going to start off again with what's happening in the Windward Islands for Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, Barbados, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. It's just going to be a wet forecast. We're going to get more rain developing on this Thursday afternoon. We're going to get even higher chances for rain Friday and Saturday. We'll still have decent chances Sunday and Monday, but right now I'm focused on the rest of today and then Friday and Saturday being the wettest days. And again, just kind of stair-stepping this, you can just see it's not concentrated rain, all right? This is just a large moisture blob, shield of rain, if you want to say, but it will be moving right across the islands over the next few days, and it's going to dump some good rainfall totals, at least in some areas. So just get prepared for that. As we get into our Sunday and Monday, we'll start to see that moisture move off towards the west, so we will begin to dry out. But again, it's going to be wet for Trinidad and Tobago and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and areas like that. I'm zooming just a little bit more here for my friends in Tobago so you guys can kind of see your rainfall potential in this area. Again, a little bit drier Sunday, Monday, but as this loops again, watch the rain developing this afternoon and then to tomorrow and then into portions of your Saturday as well. So it's going to be kind of on the wetter side here or there, and just prepare for several inches of rain in these spots. Now we're going to get some rain for Barbados, and Barbados is about in the same scenario. Same thing for St. Lucia as well. Still ample moisture a little bit farther off to the north. So I've got a maximum for Barbados for your Friday and Saturday as well. Still some scattered rain for Sunday and early on Monday, and then drying out after that. So we'll look at the Barbados 5-day forecast coming up here in just a minute. St. Lucia, North, Martinique, Dominica, again, it becomes more scattered in nature, but still we could get pockets of a few inches of rain in these areas through our Monday. Now you get as far north as Guadeloupe and Antigua and Barbuda and St. Kitts and Nevis and Anguilla. It's going to be isolated rain from that area to the south, but actually there's a little bit of rain that might slip in from the north and at least provide a few showers. I don't expect any issues with any flooding in these areas. Maybe you want the rain as well before the dry season really kicks in, let me know. And it's the same scenario for the British Virgin Islands, the US Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. We're going to have spotty rain during this time frame, a little bit better opportunity over the weekend and into Monday. Nothing extremely heavy in most spots, but can always rule out some of the isolated heavier rain from time to time. On the Dominican Republic side of Hispaniola, I do expect some rain with a relatively dry forecast for Haiti. And then back to the ABC Islands. This is one area that will get some decent rain chances. Now, starting for today, actually, let me bring this back out. You notice that for this, let's see here if I can get it all the way back. You notice that for the remainder of this Thursday into the evening hours here, we're going to have some spotty to heavier rain. As a matter of fact here, I think I can, let me drop it back one more frame here and see if we can get the afternoon hours to pop back on. There we go. Nope, never mind. Didn't get it. All right, it's all right. No big deal. Actually, I'm not really sure why that's not doing that, though. I'll be honest. Let's see. Trying to get, there we go. All right, just had to click one more button. There's a lot of buttons to push back here, but you get the idea that we're going to get this rain developing in the afternoon hours for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. All right. And it could be relatively heavy for today, at least in some spots. More additional showers for tomorrow, and then it becomes a little bit more spotty. That moisture, as it moves off towards the west, is going to start to fall apart in general. So you're not going to get the concentrated heavier rain that places like Trinidad and Tobago are going to see. You notice that it does kind of fizzle out as it moves into your area. For my friends in Jamaica, we are going to see some rain chances. There's nothing that's going to be very concentrated. The model shows the best opportunity for rain. It looks to be on Friday and then again through portions of the weekend. Again, is it going to be very heavy in showers? More than likely not. You can see again, maybe a few isolated showers today. Tomorrow, a little bit of a maximum. I mean, look at that right there in the afternoon hours from Kingston to Mandeville, Maypen, Montego Bay, and Negril. Decent chance for some showers then. Then it's a little bit slightly drier Saturday and then into Sunday. And then again, you know, Monday, we might pick up a little bit of rain there, but nothing that's going to be daily rain for everyone. There'll be a few showers potentially each afternoon. And I also expect some overnight rain as well, where you might get some showers overnight into the wee hours of your morning. Then we look at this big slug of moisture and this concentration of rain moving in from the Western Caribbean. So we'll get some showers for the Cayman Islands as well, but really focus on the potential for some heavier rain for the eastern coastlines of Nicaragua and Honduras, coastlines of Guatemala and Belize, and the portions of the Yucatan. Now, it's really Nicaragua and Honduras that could see some of this heavier rain. It's late in the period. It really doesn't develop until Sunday and Monday, but it's not going to move much as well. And the reason it's not going to move much is, again, these north winds coming in will kind of pin this moisture right along the coast. So from Cancun to Cozumel and Belize City and Roatan and San Pedro Sula, all with a decent opportunity here for some healthy rainfall totals beginning on Sunday and into Monday. So this is one area I'll mention. You can see there's Roatan, not really until the 11th, the late 10th into the 11th, early on the 12th, that we'll start to see that rain kind of move in, but it could be sitting over that area for a time, and especially along the eastern coastlines, again, of Honduras and Nicaragua there, east of Tegucigalpa and Managua, but right along the coastline, yeah, we could get some decent rain. All right, so let's take a look at the total precipitation over the next 5 days, all right? And this is all the way out to the 12th. That's good. So we'll start off again with what's happening in the Leeward Islands. Let me zoom in on this. Again, this is potential total rainfall totals. And I want you to notice that around Trinidad, we're looking at maybe upwards of 3 inches in a couple of spots. There'll be areas that there'll be less, potentially areas that there will be more, but this is pretty healthy rainfall totals here. Tobago, again, 2.5 inches of rain. Same thing for Grenada. Again, this is over the next 5 days, but especially concentrated later today and then on Friday and Saturday. Heavy enough rain where we could have some isolated flooding. Same thing for my friends in Barbados. You're looking at pretty widespread 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. There's St. Vincent with a little maximum of 3 there right now. Then up towards Martinique. Again, even this far north, we're getting some, models showing around 2+ inches of rain. And it still favors the eastern side of the islands here for the heaviest rainfall totals. Guadeloupe and Dominica, again, 2.5 inches of rain possible there. Now you get as far north, as I mentioned, places like Anguilla and Montserrat and Antigua and Barbados. It's not going to be as much, maybe a quarter, half inch of rain in a couple of locations. Again, you're not going to be completely dry, but you're not going to see as wet. Eastern side of Puerto Rico, maybe over an inch of rain in a couple of spots, spotty, half-inch totals potentially for portions of the British and U.S. Virgin Islands, including St. Croix. Backing it out a little bit here, I want to get back down to the ABC Islands. And again, there's another maximum of rain in this area. Curacao, maybe 3 inches of rain in some of these areas. Bonaire, over 2 inches of rain. Aruba, 1.5 to 2. But if we kind of average this out, let's say the ABC Islands could get 2 to 3 inches of rain. And a lot of that could actually fall later today and tomorrow as well. Notice the model is painting on some heavy rain on the northern side of the Dominican Republic. Nice little maximum there on the northern coastline of over 2.5 inches of rain. And again, for my friends in Jamaica, it's not a ton of rain. Again, maybe towards Port Antonio, we'd get a little bit heavier total, but overall, in general, you're looking at a quarter to a half inch of rain over the next 5 days, which means you should expect to see a shower or two, probably 2 out of the next 5 days. Now here is this absolute bullseye of rain, and I mean an absolute maximum of rain along the coastlines of Nicaragua and Honduras. Again, could there be over a foot of rain? That would be a very bad situation, and that is inland. It's not off the coastline. So this is one area I'm going to really be watching there for the Nicaraguan and Honduras coastlines. Still some hefty rainfall totals near Roatan, but not as much as you get that far west. San Pedro Sula, up towards Belize City there. Again, a couple of inches of rain. And it gets a little bit lighter as you get towards Cancun and Cozumel, but still, again, we're going to get some rain maximums with this cold front. And it's pretty clear to see what this front is going to be doing with the rainfall as it's moving off towards the south. Now, for my friends in the Bahamas, the rain is going to be moving so fast that we're not going to have a ton of rain with the front that's going to be coming in. I mean, we'll have pockets of heavy rain and even some thunderstorms are possible, but I want to kind of take a real quick look at what's going to be happening in the Bahamas here. So what I'm going to do is switch back over to our model here, and we're going to take a look at what I expect as far as rainfall totals. So let's get rid of the satellite data and let's loop our model again. So the first thing we're going to see is kind of moisture beginning to develop as winds turn back out of the south. Then we'll start to see this rain move in with the front. Now, overall, we're going to really start to see the rain kind of fall apart, but we're still going to get some showers for places like Freeport and Lucaya and Walker's Key and Marsh Harbor. May not be a ton of rain, but big changes again. I mean, it's chilly today, relatively speaking, in the Bahamas, but it's going to turn potentially even colder early next week with this pretty powerful front. And again, the winds will be swinging back out of the north and west here. So if I put back on those winds, and we go back over to the time frame here later in the week. And again, I think that model time frame is off. Yeah, so let me get rid of that because that is not the correct time frame. It's actually going to be, this is Monday. So you can see that on Monday behind this front, it's a strong northeast wind. That's going to bring about some decent changes and some cooler temperatures as well. As a matter of fact, we can take a look at the temperatures here real quick as well. That's always an interesting thing. So switching over to these 2-meter temperatures, and you can start to see, and I can actually query this as well. So on Monday, look at these temperatures, 70, 71, 72. It's going to be a little bit chillier in places like Freeport and Lucaya here with a strong east to northeast wind as well. So it's going to kick up the surf and sea conditions, but that is some relatively cooler air that'll be moving back in, even towards Nassau. I mean, you're looking at temperatures in the lower 70s. So cooler weather certainly on the way for those areas. Okay, let's get back out to the wide shot here. Again, what I'm going to be watching for the next couple of days, it's going to be some heavier rain for especially the Windward Islands, but all of the Lesser Antilles, a maximum of rain for Central America, and then some big changes coming our way for the Bahamas with another front moving in on Sunday. Let's take a look at a couple of 5-day forecasts, my friends in Trinidad and Tobago. 50% chance for scattered showers and storms the remainder of today. Look at your high rain chances for Friday and Saturday. 60% tomorrow, 90% chance on Saturday. Pockets of heavier rain, isolated flooding could come along with that. Still a 60% chance on Sunday, and then finally beginning to dry up, but still even a few isolated showers and storms possible for Monday as well. Just up the road for our friends in Barbados, again, high rain chances the next few days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really maximized later today and tomorrow. Still a 60% chance on Saturday. 50 on Sunday, and then beginning to slowly dry out on Monday, but not completely dry in Barbados over the next 5 days. Friends, it is a wet forecast there. If you'd like to support the channel, I encourage you to watch our new video series, Worst Weather in the World, where we highlight the top 5 worst weather spots recently here across our planet. We debuted that yesterday, and if you tune in, I thank you for doing that. But again, if you want to support the channel here as we get away from hurricane season, that's one way to do that. It's always very interesting stuff as well. Of course, I'll keep you updated with the rest of the forecast that's going to be happening across our area. You can always follow us across all of our social media platforms as well. I thank you so much for watching, and friends, I will see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.